Napoleon Bonaparte was, and remains, one of France's most legendary figures. His life reads less like a biography and more like an epic one that began far from the grand halls of Paris on the rugged island of Corsica. He was born on August 15, 1769, in the town of Ajaccio at a time when Corsica itself was restless and divided. Though Corsican by birth, Napoleon would spend most of his life tied to France. At just 9 years old, he left his homeland for schooling across the sea. Despite his long absence, Corsica never left his heart. He remained fiercely loyal to the island, attempting more than once to aid its people efforts that often brought him suspicion and persecution rather than gratitude. After leaving, as a boy, he would never willingly return. Napoleon's childhood was quiet on the surface but rich in influence. He was born into the Bonaparte family, a line of respected though modest Corsican nobles whose roots stretched back centuries to Florence, Italy. His father, Carlo Bonaparte, was a lawyer deeply involved in Corsican resistance movements. His mother, Letizia Ramolino, was devout, disciplined, and formidable. As a boy, Napoleon was small, fiery, and intensely curious. He earned the nickname Rabulion, meaning the meddler, because he involved himself in everything. He wrestled, argued, and fought often, defeating his older brother despite his size. Yet, beneath his temper was a thoughtful child who loved numbers, routine, and discipline. Even before his birth, danger surrounded him. Letizia travelled through Corsica while pregnant, following her husband as he rode with rebel forces through gunfire and unrest. When Napoleon was finally born on the feast of the Assumption, he entered a world already shaped by conflict. From his mother, he inherited an iron will and relentless sense of duty. Religion dominated his early life. Letizia insisted on strict Catholic devotion, enforcing church attendance with stern discipline. Though Napoleon would grow less religious as he aged, these early years shaped his inner discipline. At 5 years old, he began school under the guidance of nuns and quickly showed signs of analytical brilliance. In 1778, his life changed forever. With family resources strained, his father sent Napoleon and his brother to France for education among the French nobility. Leaving Corsica was painful. As he boarded the ship, his mother whispered one word into his ear: courage. It would become a defining theme of his life. France was a shock. Napoleon barely spoke French and stood out among wealthy classmates. At military school in Brienne, he was mocked for his accent and isolated by poverty. He found refuge in books, studying Caesar, Alexander the Great, and Frederick the Great. While others played, Napoleon studied war. He later advanced to the École Militaire in Paris, completing the demanding artillery program in 1 year. At 16, he became a commissioned officer. His brilliance emerged during the siege of Toulon, leading to rapid promotion. By 26, he commanded the army of Italy, leading starving troops to stunning victories. In Ichijojo, Napoleon became first consul of France, and in 1804 he crowned himself emperor. He reshaped Europe through legal reform, education, and administration. Yet, ambition led to exhaustion and defeat. After exile, return, and final defeat at Waterloo, Napoleon died on St. Helena in 1821, his legend enduring long after.